Welcome back. IRB Private InvIT listed today. This is the third entity in the IRB Infrastructure Group to get listed. Virendra Mhaiskar, the CMD of IRB Infrastructure, now joins us on the show now. Mr. Mhaiskar, afternoon, and thanks so much for joining in. We understand that now even private InvITs necessarily need to get listed. But can you now explain what the difference is between your private InvIT and your public InvIT?
Good afternoon. Sure, I would like to give a brief detail of the differences. So, as you very correctly said, private InvITs were allowed to remain unlisted till now, but the regulator has now come out with a clarification that they want all the private unlisted InvITs to get listed, and as per the requirement as a good corporate governance, we have taken this step and now made the private unlisted InvIT a listed InvIT. We have one major investor here, which is GIC Singapore, holding 49%, and rest of the 51 continues to be with IRB. The major idea for getting this InvITs listed was to bring in more transparency and more disclosures, and that objective, I believe, will get very well met. As far as the InvIT sponsor or the InvIT in itself is concerned, what brings for the InvIT on table is the ability to now tap the bond market, because it's now a listed entity, and one can look at refinancing the debt in a more efficient manner now that it's a listed InvIT. That is the gain that the InvIT would have, while the regulator gets to have more clarity and more transparency on board.
Okay, all right. So it would definitely be beneficial in terms of raising funds for the company. But before we get back to more details with regards to the performance of the private InvIT, just wanted a clarification with regards to the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. We do understand that there is reports have indicated that there's an 18% toll hike which has been undertaken. Could you clarify on the same?
Yes. So, as far as the toll tariff increase is concerned, it is an annual exercise as far as national highways are concerned. And for the specific asset which you are asking, that is Mumbai-Pune Expressway, it plays out every 3 years. So while NHAI assets tend to see a tariff revision of 5–6% annually, in case of Mumbai-Pune Expressway, because it plays out once in 3 years, it 18% in one go. And all the tariff revisions across all the projects have been played out from 1st April and has been made effective.
Okay, so indeed there's been an 18% hike in the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. But that's the once in a 3-year sort of hike which has been undertaken. But I just had one follow-up. Is it the highest hike that you've probably taken in recent times?
Oh, I think Mumbai-Pune Expressway we have been managing since 2004, and every 3 years we have undergone this exercise of 18% tariff revision. So frankly, it's not a new thing as is being talked about. Every 3 years the tariffs have moved up by 18%, and if you look at it as an annual exercise, people don't need to pay higher tariff for at least 3 years, and then you have you have the uptick only once.
Is this 18% every 3 years? Is the amount fixed, this number of 18%, or
Yes.
is it variable based on factors?
Yes, that's correct.
So it's fixed.
So unlike NHAI, where you have the tariff linked to WPI, here the tariff is fixed for the entire duration. So every 3 years, what would be the tariff that one has to put into action is known upfront.
So now even in FY27, the tariff hike will be 1st of April, 2026, for instance, 3 years later. There will be another tariff hike of 18% only. Is that correct?
So as far as the next tariff hike is concerned, for our present contract, there is no more tariff hike stipulated.
Okay.
So this stagnates at this level.
Okay. I just wanted to talk about the private InvIT. Can you just tell us about the toll collection? What exactly is it tracking at? I was looking at your Feb numbers. It seemed to be quite strong at over 25% year on year.
That's correct. So, as you know, private InvIT was incorporated in 2019 between IRB and we had GIC as the investor. And at that time, we had 9 projects as a part of the InvIT structure. Since then, we have got one more project into the private InvIT, which is again a 4 to 6 lane asset being constructed in Bengal. And all these 10 assets are now part of the private InvIT, and the 9 assets which were under construction when the InvIT was formed have since then been completed, and all the projects are now operational, doing well. And if you look at the structure of the InvIT today, it's a very, I would say, low-levered InvIT, which will have surplus getting generated from year one, and it's going to be a very, very strong platform for IRB going forward from here.
How did you arrive at the valuations while listing this private InvIT? And how would the valuations compare with the public entity?
So there are, yes. So there are parameters to decide on the valuation. So there is a third-party valuation which was done, and that was further validated by the trust shareholders, and that has been made applicable at which the units would now trade. There is a one good parameter today in the market to compare the valuations in such kind of illiquid structures, and you will appreciate that the closest one can go in comparables would be NHI TOT projects, because in a NHI TOT project what happens is somebody goes and bids for a TOT. He is actually paying for buying a bunch of assets what already are in existence. And if one goes by that parameter, even today, roughly if you say the upfront payment plus capex involved, most of the NHI TOTs have got bid out at around 17 to 18 times of their first year revenue. And if you look at private InvIT today, as per the valuation report, and now that the projects are operational, for FY24, we would see around 2,450 crores of top line revenue and a net revenue post premium of around 1,800 crores. So if you look at that as a parameter and look at the valuation at 17 times of first year FY24 revenue, the valuation of 27,000 crores less debt of around 10,000 crore, it comes to around 17,000 crore is the valuation that gets ascribed for this platform.
Okay, just quickly, you did mention that this will help you tap the bond markets more easily, refinancing of debt. What is the debt on the private InvIT's books right now, and what is the plan when it comes to any kind of fundraising?
So private InvIT will have an enterprise value of around 27,000 crores, and the debt on the books is around 10,000 crores. So this 10,000 crores debt is something which we can now refinance and push back the amortization, have higher cash release to improve the distribution of the InvIT. So this will be few of the advantages that the InvIT would now enjoy now that it is a listed InvIT.
Okay. All right, so we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and talking to us. So that's IRB Infra discussing a whole host of developments in the company. 18% hike in terms of toll taken for the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. But remember, that happens once in 3 years separately. Their private InvIT has also been listed. We'll take a short break. On the other side,